here. We're at episode 6. Everybody, welcome in. This is The Ugly Truth. I'm Evan. This is Joe.
Welcome back, everybody.
We're here to give you some unsolicited advice. And we got a fun one at hand today. We're going to talk about a thing that is called trunk drunk. Now, Joe is going to explain exactly what that is, but the question at hand today is, what is trunk drunk? And is it worth it? And I will say right now, in the moment, absolutely worth it. Are we talking the next day? Well, that's a whole nother discussion. So,
yeah, let me tell you. So Trunk Drunk was born from myself and my friend Pick. We went out with our wives one night to a bar called Twisters. And we were drinking, playing some shuffleboard, just pretty casual. And before we knew it, we were in some serious booze. I mean, I think the count from what I remember, we each did about 16 Bud Lights, about 8 Jaeger shots. And then at the end of the night, we wanted to do a shot to end the night. So, which our wives were not happy about.
But you do it anyways.
But you do it anyways. Yeah. I mean, what the hell? So we walk up to the bar and we ask the bartender, hey, what would be a good end of the night shot? And he says, how about a shit starter? Now, we should have known. I mean, you listen to the name.
Just a name.
Right.
The shit starter, you're thinking you're having that at the beginning of the night to get going,
Right. And I think that's probably what it was designed for. But he's like, no, let's get you guys a shit starter. So he brings it out. And we thought it was a shot. I mean, he brought it out in a drink glass. I mean, it was the size of a drink. But we were so drunk by that point, we didn't know. So we did our usual toast back then, which was, here's to you and me. Should we never disagree? But if we do, F you, here's to me. And we slammed it, put it down, and then slammed the glasses down on the bar. Well, the bartender had turned around. And when we slammed the glasses, he swung back around and he goes, did you shoot those? That was a drink, not a shot. But we didn't know. And we're like, nah, no big deal. We no longer got to the back door, headed out to the car. And that's where things get real fuzzy. And the only reason I know about what I'm about to tell you is because our wives told us. And so we go out, and back then, and it might be the same way today, but you didn't leave your purse in the car, right? You just didn't, you didn't leave it in sight. So you put it in the trunk. Well, my wife went to get her, and she owned an Acura TL, right? Wasn't a huge car. She put her purse in the trunk. So she went back, unlocked the trunk and to get her purse out. And I crawled in, or at least I tried. I didn't fit. Otherwise, my wife might have just let me slay back there and close the door. And that's why we call it trunk drunk. I was so drunk, I didn't know. I was just looking for a place to lay down. So I tried to crawl in the trunk. My wife, obviously, I didn't fit. So she puts me in the front seat, leather seats. So we're driving home. And every corner that she turns, I slide on the seat and whack my head on the window. Or I slide the other way and hit the emergency brake and slide onto her shoulder, which just pisses her off even more and pushes me off. So finally, we get home to Spring Hill. Now, Bonner Springs to Spring Hill is not a close drive. I mean, you're looking at probably 25, 30 minutes. And so by the time we get home, I am passed out. I'm gone. So Leah, who's about 150 pounds lighter than me, can't lift me. So she's tired. She's been drinking too. Not so much that she couldn't drive, but she was out having a good time too. So what does she do? She opens the passenger side door so that if I have to throw up, the door's open, and she leaves me in the driveway and goes to bed.
Got to do what you got to do.
You know what? I'm not mad at her. I couldn't lift me either.
Was it worth it? Drunk.
No, folks, I got to be honest with you. The hangover I had probably lasted for 2 days.
Whew.
And here's the thing. I'm a big guy, right? Like I can drink a lot, but I'm not sure how I didn't have alcohol poisoning. Like we drank so much in such a fast rate that which is probably why we didn't really know, because you're just hitting shots one after the other. And had it been over more time, we probably would have felt the effects sooner. But we hit them, and so by the time we knew that we'd had enough, it was way too late. Way too late. But the after effects of that were it is not. If you drink enough to crawl in a trunk, you've drank way too much. Have you ever been in a situation where you've drank so much that you have absolutely no idea what you're doing?
Oh yeah. Oh, many times. Many times.
I'm glad to see I'm not alone.
Many times. I mean, not to like use that as a badge of honor, because I actually don't recommend it either, personally.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to a certain point where if you don't remember the night before,
Yeah.
or you're unable to function and take care of yourself,
Yeah, for sure.
you put yourself in a very, very vulnerable spot.
Yeah.
You know, I've had people like, I'm out at a club and my friends used to call me, and they still would, like if we got together and we all drank. When I get to a certain point, I start tipping over. So they would call me the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Yeah.
You know, because I start just, woo,
yeah.
I'm not standing up straight. I'm falling over. I'm ready to pass out.
And for you people that are just listening to the audio and not watching, he's like 6'4", 6'5".
Yes, I am. It's a long way down.
So when he leans, it's gonna fall over.
It's gonna fall over. Exactly right. So, I'd say in college that happened quite a bit. You know, you're partying multiple days a week, every week. You know, it's just a norm. So you get to know your limits. You get to know what you can and cannot handle. And I'd say ultimately, if it happens, ideally you're surrounded with people who are able to actually like take care of you and make sure that you're not gonna just pass out on the sidewalk in front of a bar. Yeah. So I've always had a solid group around me to make sure that I'm not in danger. I suppose. For sure. Yeah. So, know your limits and be with a solid group of people. And I would say, don't worry about it. And if it happens, well, it happens, deal with the hangover the next day.
Yeah.
And
you know what? It's different when you're in your 20s.
Yeah.
Okay. When this happened, I was in my mid to upper 30s. Like the bad thing is I knew better, but I still did it anyway. But Pick and I, we're still to the impression that we're 12, man.
Live young.
We're 12-year-olds, man. We're never going to grow up. I don't ever want to grow up, because being a grown up sucks. I'm serious, man. If I could go back and be a kid again,
young at heart,
know what I know now, oh my God, wow. I'd be ruling this earth, man. I am not lying. I mean, seriously, if you could go back, listen, I know that high school didn't treat everybody well, but if you could go back to high school, knowing what you know now, would you do it?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I didn't like high school that much.
Neither did I.
But maybe.
It's not the point. It's what you know now.
Here's the thing. I'm only how many years removed from high school?
That's true.
26. Maybe if I was 50, then all right. Oh yeah, I guess so. Because that's that's a huge amount. That's a big gap.
Thanks for dating me, you asshole.
I was in high school less than 10 years ago. So, I mean, I don't feel the desire to go back knowing what I know now. But at the same time,
here's to graduating.
Yeah.
I barely made it, by the way.
Hey, you made it. That's what counts. But, I don't know. I was going to say, in terms of things to get back on the trunk drunk.
Yeah. We
So
kind of got off
we
subject
got a
here.
little bit off
Sorry
subject.
about that, folks.
No, we're good. It was relevant. In terms of trunk drunk, I think it can be. Ultimately, you're gonna have times where you reach that level, but you're having fun with your friends. You're having good experience. Like you look back on that, and it brought a hilarious story.
It did.
Brought a great memory.
It did. And
so I mean, it's almost worth it in a way.
I mean, you can look at it like that, but I guess what I would say, my advice to you is the reason I say it's not worth it is because it could have been a very serious situation.
That is true.
Right. I mean, I'm a big guy, and so I was able to handle the amount of alcohol, but a lot of people aren't.
I don't think I could handle 16 Bud Lights just in itself.
And you can die from that. Right. So I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, you should try that. You should try to get drunk. It's just something that happened, and it's a memory. And my wife hates the memory. I got to be honest with you. She's like, no, it wasn't worth it. It was, and I get it because now she's babysitting a 300-pound guy.
Right.
And so.
And know your situational awareness, I think, is
huge.
Because
huge. Know your situation. And I get it. If you're in your 20s.
Yeah. But even in your 20s, no situational awareness.
Yeah, of course.
Because I was this one time I was close to graduating college, and we had this thing called the Beer Olympics.
Oh, okay.
And and I did really well. I mean, I'd say halfway through, 3/4 of the way through, there's already people throwing up and they can't handle it. I held my own. I did really well. One of the top performers, rest of my squad, it wasn't looking so good, but I did all right. But I had a dinner that night scheduled with multiple professors.
Oh boy.
My entire history, because I was an education and history major.
Yeah.
My entire graduating class of history majors.
Oh boy.
And so the situational awareness did not kick in for me.
Right.
I showed up at that dinner plastered. It was not good. It was not good. It was drunk level at that point. I mean, so know the situation. I'm
surprised you graduated college, to be honest.
Well, I already had the degree at that point.
Fair enough.
It didn't matter. Well, it did. I mean, I sent them a nice apology email later on.
Yeah.
I was like, sorry about that. We had the Beer Olympics. I was very open about it.
Yeah.
But know what you need to do. And like, if you have things that, obviously, if you're day drinking, like if you're doing a Beer Olympics.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Don't get drunk is not a good idea in the day. It's not a good, especially if you got things going on. You do not want to be trying to operate in the world at a drunk level.
Now, I will say drunk is not necessarily bad during the day, but you better not have anything planned at night.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Because it's okay, because then you can sleep it off. But if you got something planned at night, you're in deep trouble. Mm-hmm. So I guess the moral of this story, guys, is look, we want you to go out and have a good time. Man, we understand you're going to do it, but just be careful. And situational awareness, you're absolutely right, it's paramount. You just got to really know what your situation is, what your surrounding is. And if you're a young lady, it's really important.
Yeah.
Because, there are guys out there that will take advantage of you. And that's just the unfortunate truth about the way things are today. And it have really always been. I mean, let's be honest. So just take care of yourself.
Yes.
Just be careful. If you're going to go out and drink, I support you 100%, but just be careful when you do it. And that, my friends, is the ugly truth.
Cheers to the ugly truth. Cheers to drunk.
And you got that?
I got it. Drunk.
There it is. There it is.
And cheers for all of the listeners who are here tuning on in. Be sure to subscribe.
Mr. Ass, thanks you.
Cheers to Mr. Ass.
Hit us up on Instagram, Twitter.
At The Ugly Truth.
Join our Facebook page. We're all out there. We're on every platform.
Absolutely.
Love to see you there. Until next time.
See ya.